Can I just be like real chill?
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRTea. I hope your week was swell.
This week's guest is Cason. Cason is the funniest fucker I think I've ever met in my life. I just met him and I'm obsessed with him. We talked so much about his coming out story. The kid makes his trauma funny, just like me. He knows how to tell a funny story through his trauma, and I absolutely love that about him. So make sure you stick around for that. Also, we talked about frats. We've never talked about frats before on this podcast. We talked about how fucked up they are, and Kason shared a story that happened to him that had to do with frats that is crazy. So make sure you stick around for that. And yeah, that's about it. Fucking subscribe to me on Patreon, please. If you want to see me grow as a creator, I would appreciate it. Patreon is the best way to do that. You know the spiel. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at HRTea Podcast. Join my Discord, please. And follow me on Twitch. I stream every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. All right, y'all. Enjoy the episode. I love you so fucking much. It is unreal. All right, I'm sweating my ass off. I'm gonna go, but I love you. Bing. Alrighty, Cason. Where are you from, King?
I'm from Connecticut. I live, I don't really give my exact town, but I live right next to Danbury, Connecticut, which a lot of people know. It's about like 40-ish minutes from Hartford, which is like the center of the capital. So
Nice.
pretty chill.
I'm in New
Yeah.
York, Long Island, so you're not that far from me
Yeah,
at all.
that's not far at all.
Period.
Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 20.
20? Damn.
Oh yeah,
I feel old.
I'm young.
Shit. Okay, wait. So how does Connecticut treat you as a trans person?
I mean, there's no problems here when it comes to like access to like HRT. I mean, it depends on where you go in Connecticut. If you're looking to be in like some parts of Hartford, Bridgeport, I'd say like places like Torrington and like kind of like the deeper sides. Like if you are, I guess, like noticeably trans, like if I were to go outside and just trans tape, you'd probably get some looks and probably be like, all right, this is a little bit strange, and like, but I don't think there'd be any harm. Hopefully, I don't think it would be the end of the world. So I think Connecticut's a pretty safe space.
Yeah, Connecticut is a lot like New York. It's pretty blue, right? Connecticut's blue.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, period. I love to hear that. You are on hormones, correct?
Yeah,
How long you been on hormones?
a year and like 8-ish months, I think, around there.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn. You look like you've been on it for like 4 years, brother.
No.
Damn.
I'm still so new on it. It's like actually it's so interesting to me because it's like I made a lot of like trans friends with like last summer, and it's when I just started T. I was like literally like 3-4 months on T, and it was one of those like comparison kill situations because I was like I actually like I hate this. I'm not like any of them.
No,
It
I
was like,
feel you.
yeah.
The 4th month mark, I feel like, is where the changes automatically just hit out of nowhere. Especially your voice, I feel like, is what changes.
Yeah, I think it's the voice for sure. Like I feel like I don't like everything else you don't really know, you don't really notice, but like the voice, you're like, wait, hold up, that's bizarre, that's insane. Look at me go.
Look at me go. I feel like I didn't notice the changes that testosterone gave me until like 4 years later when I looked at old pictures of myself and I was like, who the fuck am I? What the hell?
No, seriously. Like, yeah, same. Like I look at photos, you know, like in like the snap memories that like gives you like 1 year ago today, like all that. Oh, it's like literally traumatizing. Yeah, I like was looking at like one like yesterday, and I was like, that was me a year ago. Like, who did I think I was? Because I was like, I was pretending I was like confident, like I was like him, right? And I was like, no, no.
Pretending I was him. That's every pre-T trans guy, like to the T.
Yeah. Like I just don't know why. I just think like I just think you're starting to grow within yourself, so you're like, okay, like I'm on hormones now, like I'm literally that guy. No one, I am untouchable. No one can touch me.
Dude, and you know what's funny is that like 5 years from now, we'll both look back on who we are now and be like, "What the fuck?" But like, I think I'm the shit right now.
No, literally, we're gonna like watch this podcast again and be like, I looked horrible. What was I doing?
Meanwhile, I think I'm slaying. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
no, seriously, seriously.
So you've been on testosterone for a year and some time. What
Mhm.
do you do? Do you do injections,
Yeah, unfortunately.
sub Q or intramuscular?
Yeah, so cute.
Okay.
They were like intermuscular, and I was like, no, actually, that's not happening.
Actually, I'm good.
No, seriously, I was not doing that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I was on intramuscular for 7 years, and it was the bane of my
Oh,
existence. Yeah, I'm
wow.
on gel now. Everybody knows. I
Everyone knows.
everybody knows. I don't shut the fuck up about it now. But I switched to gel because fuck intramuscular, and I didn't even want to try sub
Mhm.
Q. Um,
Really?
yeah, I just spent so long on the shots that I was like, no more, no more
Yeah,
needles. I'm okay. Um,
that's fair. I mean, you must have less anxiety doing the gel. It's daily, right?
yeah, it's daily, but like I have like a moment. I do it right when I wake up. So like I have a
Okay.
moment where I'm like, I really don't want to do this. But then I'm doing it and I think about like how I had to do injections and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna rub this shit in harder. Like, hell yes. But how do you like injections?
I have such a love-hate relationship with it. Like, we used to be terrified of shots, but then when I was like, "Oh, I can start hormones. I love shots. This is great. We're gonna just figure it out. It's all good." And so, like, I taught myself how to accept shots, like before I started T. Right? Like, I watched them do all the blood work. I watched my doctors give me every shot for like 6 months, and I just like desensitized myself to it because I was like, "I'm doing this.
Get it.
This is it. I'm doing it."
Period. And hey,
Yeah.
if you want something that bad, you'll make it happen.
Exactly. It's
Hmm.
like it doesn't matter what it is. If you really want it, you'll do it.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I love that attitude. So
Yeah.
when you do it now, like is it more like you said you have a love-hate relationship with it? Is it more like the process of doing it you hate, but you don't really have anxiety or anything about it anymore?
I don't know. I don't know if it's even that. It's like just the actual physical doing of the shot. You're like, I actually like,
Mhm.
it's like it's just dreadful at this point because it's like, oh, I have to like stab myself, but like then you tell yourself it's only like 10 seconds, so it's fine.
Mhm.
But then you're like, ugh,
Cis men
ten
don't have to
seconds
do
that I
this.
don't have to experience.
Yeah, right. I think that's what bothered me the most about it, like, was that
Hmm.
I had to do it in order to be happy. Like, I had to
Hmm.
cause myself a little bit of pain in order to,
Yeah.
like, grow a beard, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's, like, felt unfair to me, that's what I hated. Okay, so I wanna talk to you about surgeries. Have you
Oh
gotten
yeah.
any? Do you want any in the future?
I'm scheduled to get top surgery October 24th.
Oh my god, Slay! Congratulations! That's so
Yeah,
dope.
thank
Period.
you.
How are you feeling about it? You excited?
I mean, I've talked about this publicly before. I would say I'm less. I would not say okay. I'm not excited,
Mhm.
but I'm not like thrilled. I'm not like this is literally going to be so exciting. This is so fun. I'm just like, all right, it's happening. Cool.
And why do you think that is? Are you scared or you just don't care?
Well, yes, I have oh, I have extreme anxiety, like for one, but like I'm a very physical person.
Mm,
Like right now I am running like ridiculous amounts of miles a week. I hit the gym 4 or 5 times a week. Like
damn,
I don't stop. I
damn.
don't stop. And there's a reason for that. Cause like up here, like, come on, we're all a little bit, but I feel as if I'm a little bit extra.
Oh, that's funny. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about. I didn't know you were like that much into being physically active and going to the gym and stuff. So I want to talk to you about that
Mhm.
in a little while. Um,
Okay.
but so you're afraid that when you're recovering, you're gonna get really depressed because you're not moving enough. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, are you into like video games or anything?
Not really.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got
Like,
it.
I have a little Switch, but, like, what am I gonna do? Like, play Mario Kart by myself?
Well, okay. Maybe you get into video games now or something to distract the mind while you're
Mhm.
recovering.
Yeah.
And honestly, the recovery I don't know. I see people on TikTok all the time being like, "Oh, you need this for when you're recovering from top surgery. You need this and you need this. You don't need jack fucking shit, okay? Lay in your
Mhm.
bed for 2 weeks and you'll be fine." Like,
Yeah.
it's really, I feel like it's not as bad as everybody makes
Mm.
it seem to be. I mean,
Yeah.
the first day when you get it, you're gonna be like in pain and it's not gonna
Mm.
be fun. But honestly, after that, it's really like I feel like after a week, I could. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe after 2 weeks, I could do this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Are you getting double incision or
No.
the other ones?
Heel.
Period. That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Really? How did you like it?
I loved it at the time.
Mm.
I'm not a gym bro. You're a gym bro.
Mhm.
I think you will benefit a lot more from it because you seem like you're very good at keeping yourself like motivated to go to the gym and stuff. With
Yeah.
keyhole, that is very important. I don't think you have to
Mhm.
worry. Me, on the other hand, I'm a lazy piece of shit.
No, don't say that.
No, I am. It's true. I'm a proud lazy piece of shit. Okay,
Okay,
with
okay,
pride.
that's play. That's fine.
I didn't. I don't know. My surgeon like told me to do push-ups and shit, and I was like, "Pfft, "You're lying. I'll be fine."
Push-ups one of those.
I don't like 5, 7 years later, I don't love the results as much as I did when I first
Mhm,
got it done. Like, when I was a year post-op, mwah, it looked
mhm.
beautiful, but then I got
Okay.
fat. And I don't enjoy my chest as much as I used to, but that's all on me,
Interesting.
unless I need a revision surgery one day, but, like, I don't know, I'm not worried about you. I feel like you'll keep working out, and even if you don't, I feel like as
Mhm.
long as you, like, keep, within, like, the first year, do push-ups and stuff, you'll be fine. But I don't fucking know shit.
Oh god, no, I hate push-ups.
No, push-ups was a one fucking thing. He was like, "Do them," and I was like, "Okay."
That's such an interesting request to hear from, like, a doctor, like, "Do push-ups and
Dude,
you'll be fine." Like,
I
that's so interesting.
I hated my surgeon, dude. When I woke up
Really?
I know I'm talking about myself a lot. This is about you, but
Oh, I don't care. I love tea. I love hearing it all.
when I I hate this story, but when I woke up,
Mhm,
this nasty ass cis man, you know what he said to me? He wakes me up. He goes, Cody, you're
mhm.
flat," and I was like, "Get the fuck."
That's so bizarre, actually, you're flat.
It's like, "Get the fuck out of my face with
Oh
that,
my
bro."
god, the first thing, it's not like, "Oh, surgery went well."
Mm-mm.
You're flat.
And important detail, he didn't specialize in trans people. He specialized in cis men who had the gynecomastia. So he was
Mm,
just like, "Oh, a trans person? He's gonna love this one. Ready? You're flat."
you're flat. That's ho I don't even know if that's like a hate crime or not. Oh
Like,
my
imagine
god.
being drugged out of your mind and still getting the ick. It's like, uh,
Honestly, I didn't even know that was possible.
uh, but I have high hopes for your surgeon.
I I'm hoping as well.
Are you going somewhere close by?
Yeah, it'll be about 40-ish minutes from my college campus,
Okay,
so
slay.
nothing horrible.
Period.
Yeah.
So, are you like scared at all, or is it just like for the surgery part, or are you just scared for
Oh,
the
no, that's
aftermath?
fine.
Okay,
Like,
period.
that's literally light work, like,
That's light work.
simple. Every other day thing.
Do you have people around you that'll help you when you're recovering?
Yeah, no, fortunately enough, I have a lot of trans friends because for some reason we all attract one another and are like magnets to one another for some reason.
I love that.
And so all my like trans friends at school have all had surgery. So they're like, we'll go on a schedule, we'll go on a roster here, like work down the list. And then my girlfriend, she's very supportive. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Period. I love that. Okay, so entering the first segment of the podcast where I've named it Spill the Tea.
All right.
When did you come out as trans?
I came out as trans at 18. So
18. Period.
yeah, 2
Okay,
years ago.
so you were in high school or just coming out of
End
high
of high
school?
school.
End of high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like just about to come out.
that's about where I came out too. Um, okay, you were in high school, end of high school. How did that go? Who'd you come out to first?
It was like a very interesting experience, actually. Like, I don't like a lot of people are like, "Well, how did you come out?" And I'm like, "Well, like this is actually kind of a bizarre story." So I went to boarding school. I okay. I went to boarding school, but not all 4 years. So like I stayed where I am right now, which is like in my hometown in Connecticut,
Mhm.
for most of my life until my junior year of high school, and I was a freak at soccer, like very good, like going Division 1. And so a private school that my friend went to, they needed a goalkeeper, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna recruit this kid." That kid being me. And so I got recruited. Had to repeat my junior year at this private high school, which is like second best in the country. I don't know if you heard of it, Choate Rosemary Hall. Really,
Mhm.
really dope school.
Wow.
Loved it.
Good for you.
Repeated my junior year, did my senior year. And within my senior year, I was like, wait, holy shit. Like, I've been free for a whole year now. I am not home anymore. Like, why do I not feel fulfilled with my life? Like, why do I feel like I'm still trapped? Like, I
Mhm.
don't get it. I should be happy. I have everything I want. I literally, like, I have friends now. I'm going to go play Division 1 soccer. I'm going to be on the women's team. Like, this is great.
Mhm.
But then it like hit me. Like, I went to this dance, which this is even more bizarre. I was going to this dance with my ex girlfriend,
Mhm.
and we were like, all right. So for some reason, we came back here to my house, and my mom is like putting makeup on me, and like I just went silent. I don't know what it was in my brain that was like, no, this ain't gonna work. But I just like I let it happen, and I just like went silent. And my ex was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm fine. We're good." So we get in the car, we go to this dance, and I'm like just out of it this whole night. Like I don't know what it was, but I was just like I'm not happy. Like I don't get it. I don't know why I'm not happy. I don't know why I feel this way because I didn't have the terms for like what it was to be dysphoric or what it was like to be anything out of like a cis woman, I guess.
Right.
And so then the dance goes by, and then I get in the car with my ex, and she goes, "You know what? You made this night miserable." And I was like, I know I did, and I don't know what's wrong with me and why I just feel like this." And she's like, "Well, maybe we need to have like a talk." And I'm like, "Oh, a talk, great! That's exactly what I want." Right? And I'm like, great. And then she just like looked at me and was like, "Are you trans?" And I was like, "The fuck? What did you just say to me?" Like I was like, "That is the most bizarre thing that you've ever even like. Why would you say that?" Like I was offended. Right? So I'm like, "Oh my god, like you did not just literally do that to me." And then like we just drove silently. And then I like looked at her and I was like, "Maybe I am." And like the worst part of this whole like experience was like that she just started crying, right? And like this is not like a diss on her. Like this is just like I guess I can understand if you're in like a lesbian relationship.
Mhm.
She just starts crying and goes, "You're gonna cut your tits off." And I'm like,
Oh my god.
"Girl, that's the last thing that I even want to hear right now." Like I don't even know what the fuck I am.
Wait, wait, this was in the same car ride? Like she
Yes.
said you're gonna cut your tits
Yes.
off. That's- we are moving too fast. Like,
No, literally, it was all within
damn.
like not even a 3 hour span. This was like 2.5, maybe an hour and a half span. I'm like a woman, and next thing you know, I'm being called trans, and the next thing you know, I'm like maybe I am, and next thing you know, she's crying about my tits, and I'm getting top surgery all on the same day.
She's crying about my
Little does she know, 2 years later, I still have them.
tits. Joke's on you. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Yes, and I was like, this is actually the most bizarre thing that I've ever been through in my life. And then like we just like went silent again, and then like I gave it a few days, and I was like, like maybe that is what's happening. And obviously, like I swear to God, everyone goes through this. If you're having any gender problems, doesn't even matter like what you are. You obviously go on the interwebs and you're like, what's a transgender? And I did that.
Me, I did that. Was it
Exactly.
word for word? What's a transgender?
Yes. What is that?
Oh, that's funny.
What does
Oh,
that mean? And then I started like doing the deep dive, and it's like the middle of the night, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm literally having an epiphany.
it's the middle. Oh, you crack me up, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, and that's
Oh.
what happened, and then I slowly was like, "Alright, I think this is how it is," and so, like, literally within, like, a week or 2, I was, like, telling the entire universe, I'm like, "Actually, I'm not a woman."
It only took you a week?
Yes, like, genuinely just clicked, and I was like,
Period.
"That's it. This is it."
When you know,
And
I
then, like,
guess.
yeah, my parents and even my, like, ex was like, "You're not even gonna, like, try different pronouns?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "You're not non-binary?" And I was like, "That's not me, no."
A man who knows who he is. I love
Correct,
it.
and I was like, "This makes sense.
Yeah,
This is how it is now." And I
right.
just never looked back.
Period. And I like that because I
Mhm,
feel like a lot of people out there think that there are trans people that move too fast in their transition.
mhm.
But, like, you don't understand it unless you're in it. Like,
Yeah,
when you've had, like, an epiphany about your life, trans or not, like, has anyone told you to move slower? No, because you are 100% certain it's what makes you happy. Like, who are you to
correct.
I wanna talk about more about this car ride, though. Like, so
Let's do it.
so she was like, "Oh my god, you're gonna cut your tits off. What am I gonna do about the situation?" Did it get better
Correct.
after that? Did she come around? I mean, I know y'all aren't together anymore, but, like, was she
It
ever
was
better about the situation? Or
it was, like, so I don't even know, it was like a we had a 180 and then we went back to 360 kind of moment, and
Mm,
it was like she had this obviously very adverse reaction, which was like did not feel very comfortable for me. And I was like, I kind of felt horrible because I was like, oh my God, like what if I am trans and now she's crying about my tits? Like, oh my God, maybe this is like, I should not even think this way. This is the stupidest thing I've ever even had cross my mind. I'm like having an anxiety attack while I'm driving. I'm like literally like shaking. I'm like, oh my God. Right. And so I'm not one that really voices my anxiety because it's just always how I've been. It's just the way I was like kind of raised. You keep quiet about it. It's
mhm,
just easier for the family, for a stable environment, if you know what I'm saying.
mhm.
And so I'm like, just like listening to her like sob for like an hour, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, because it's not like it was a short drive. No,
Oh
it was like
god.
an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. So I'm like, Jesus, Lord have mercy.
Oh god.
Yep. Yep. I was like, oh my God, like this is bad. Like this is so bad. But like eventually it was like, all right, yeah, like you're good. We'll get through this. We'll get through this transition together
Mm,
kind of moment. And I was like, well, I actually don't like that either. Like this is a me thing kind of
mhm.
moment.
Yeah.
And then like she came around, she was supportive for a while, and then I like started hormones like 3, 4 months after. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm trans, give me hormones right now. It was
Right.
like let me talk to the right people, let me see an actual doctor, let me
Right.
get some referrals, etc. So that happened, and then our relationship started going kind of downhill, and I realized like, oh, this is happening because of the fact I transitioned
Mhm.
and because of a few other things. And then like we like tried to make it work for a hot second, and then this was my breaking point where I was like, this isn't gonna work. She looked at me and goes, if you ever get surgeries, it's not gonna work. I'm ending it immediately.
Jesus Christ. That's fucked, dude. Like,
Right.
right before you said that, I was about to say, well, at least she tried. Like, she had a rough start, but, like, at least she
Yes.
put in the effort. But, like, you can't be like, yeah, I'll love you as a trans man as long as you change nothing. Nothing.
Correct. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like about like, the first one was about bottom surgery. She was like, if you ever got bottom surgery, this isn't going to work. And like, at the time I was like, I don't really see that for myself. Like,
Mhm.
so like, I get it. This will be fine. And then like, I thought about it. And I was like, what if I change my mind in the future? Then
Yeah,
what?
then you'd be in, like, way too deep, like, probably even more in love with each other or whatever, and it would be too hard, and you'd really have to choose between somebody you love or yourself. That would be fucked.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
No one should ever have to do that.
No, that's fucked.
Ever.
And,
No
like,
one.
look, I get where she was coming from, where if she's not attracted to Ween, I get it. And, like,
That's fine.
yeah, like,
Cool.
that's your preference. 100% hell yeah. But, like, to be like, yeah, I'll be with you, but conditionally is fucked up.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Correct. It's either you're all in or you're all out. That's
Yeah.
how I see it.
Mhm. You can't
Yeah.
conditionally love a trans man. Like, that's just
Mhm. Or I feel like even any individual, even
yeah.
if you're not trans, like I feel like if I were like one of my brothers, for instance, and someone was like, it's like if you go to college for soccer, this isn't gonna work.
Right. Yeah. I get, her preference, but that's something she should have thought about, like, when you came out as trans and you were like, yes,
Correct.
100% I am trans. Then it should be like, I love you and support you, but I'll do it from over here. We can't be together because if you ever get bottom surgery one day, which is great for you, it's just not for me, then like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever like look back on that day, like she asked you if you were trans and she sobbed and kind of made it about herself? Like, do you ever look back on that and are like, damn, that's
I
upsetting?
look back at a lot of things, and that happens to yes be one of them. And I could see where she was coming from. We were young,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
18, 19, like, and that's not that long ago, like compared to where I am now. But like,
Mhm.
how else was she supposed to react? I guess. I mean, she probably could have like been crying and then not told me why. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
if we were to play it out any differently, it would just be like make up something fucking else. Anything else actually is like anything,
Mm-hmm.
literally anything. And we would have been fine.
The being young thing is like, that's valid. I mean,
Yeah.
if that happened to you today or in 5 years, whatever, when you're 25, whatever, like,
Mhm.
then I would be like, bestie, she was in the wrong very much. But you guys were kids, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, she still definitely was a little bit in the wrong, but like, I'm sure that she maybe, I hope, reflects on it and is also like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, maybe that was a little bit messed up on my end, but we've moved on. We're better.
I hope so too. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just laughing about you're gonna cut off your tits part.
And the fact that it was like an hour after is just really what gets me. How did we go from you're a woman to now you're a man in an hour? And I'm getting surgery in the same hour.
Like, that's such a jump.
It's intense.
And
That
for
was very intense. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but it is a little funny.
To be honest, I think that everything is a story, even if it was traumatic.
Period. That's exactly how I am. Okay, now what about your family and friends? When did you or how did you come out to them?
For my friends, I just was like, "Oh, this is how it is," and everyone was like, "Cool."
Period. Love that.
And they're like, "What do we call you?" And I was like, we'll figure that out.
I'll tell you at a later date.
Figure it out. Like with the whole name, they were all like, "Should we just try out new names?" And I was like, "Fuck it."
That's cute.
And so like at some point, like my friends were just calling me just random like boy names, like, and they would just scream like a name, like they would like scream like Brody, and I'm like, "Who the hell are you calling that?" And they're like, "You," and I'm like, "That's not my name. I know that much."
Every time they call for you, it's just a different man name. That's so
Different
funny.
name. And I was like, "This is not gonna work out, guys. Like, we need to. We'll stick with the original name until we figure it out. Otherwise."
Oh, those are good friends. I love to hear that.
Yeah. No, they were good friends, and
Period.
I'm not as connected to them anymore, just because we all separated after graduation. But I did appreciate them at the time.
That's dope. I love that. I think that's what every trans person needs at the time.
Yeah, I mean, okay, actually, you know what? This is gonna be even worse. When I came out to my parents, I happened to be in the realm of my ex. She was there with me, and she was like, "You have to tell them." And this is again like maybe 3 weeks after
Jesus
the whole car
Christ.
situation. I was not ready for this situation to happen. Like, I was not ready to be like, "Mom, Dad, this is what's happening." I was not. I reflect back, and I was not ready for that.
Oh, and she
I'm like,
pushed you to do it?
"Oh yes."
Oh, brother.
It was like my first time back in like a month or two, and like we're having family dinner in my dining room, and like someone like mentioned something. I think I made like a TikTok about like chest dysphoria or something for the first time, and that's when everyone on the internet was like, "We knew it," and I'm like, "Oh, like great." Yeah, and so then my like ex at the time was like, "Well, they might see this TikTok," and I'm like, "So what? They see it." And I just play it off as if it was nothing. Like I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I don't know anything.
Right, that's what I would do.
And she's like, "No, like I feel like you need to tell them when we go like to your house this weekend." And I was like, "Girl, it's been 2 weeks since I put the makeup on."
Yeah, for real.
Like Literally,
Holy
it's
shit.
like, yeah, like we were having dinner, and so then the end of dinner starts coming. We're eating. I like vividly remember this. We're eating Chinese food. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I'm so full." And so then like she says something. She like mentions this TikTok, and my brother's like, "Oh, we saw that, but we don't know what it means." And then my mom's like, "What TikTok?" And obviously my dad's like, he's a fucking space cadet and he doesn't understand what's going on half the time. And then he like tuned in and he was like, TikTok. And then I'm like, oh, great. And so I'm like, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. And like, I love my parents. They're great, but they're priors. They're very much like, if they hear something, they're going to be like, we want to know. We want to know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm the same way. I literally am the same way. I want to know the second I hear. I am literally their child. And so I'm like, oh, no, it's nothing. I swear to God, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. And then my ex is like, look, it's not nothing. And I'm like,
Oh.
now my brothers are like also pressuring me and they're like bringing it up. And then they start showing my parents. And I'm like, oh my, this is a shit show. This is literally a shit show. And so then my mom starts, I could see it. My mom starts getting a little bit angry. My dad starts getting a little bit angry. And my brothers leave. They disperse. And it's just me and my ex. And my mom's like, all right, so you need to explain to me what this is about. And I'm like lost for words. So then my ex fucking tells them,
brother, you're lying to me. You were
I'm
lying
not lying.
straight to my face.
I'm not lying. And so then my dad, he explodes. He gets angry and he's like, what are you, gay now? What do you love men? And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He goes, well, since you're a man, you must love men. And I'm like,
What?
he like gets angry. He's all up in a hoot. He's like, unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. He like storms out of the house. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Let him have his moment. You just shined. That was great. Go. You did great. Love it. And then my mom's sitting there and she's like, arms crossed. She's like, explain to me. And I'm like, literally, like, I'm speechless. I have no words. And she's like, you need to just tell me how it is. And I'm like, well, I've been feeling this way, but I just didn't know the words to put it. And then my mom's like, unbelievable. And I'm like, oh, great. This is so wonderful. I'm so glad we had this family bonding moment. And then, like, my ex is, like, trying to defend me and, like, not even give my parents even a second to process. And they're like, well, he's a he now. And then my dad, like, gets in her face, starts, like, yelling at her and is like, you don't tell me how I treat my child. Like, whatever.
Oh, my God. This is
And then he storms out again. And then my mom's just, like, sitting there trying to understand. Like, it's just like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, whatever. Mm-hmm. This will happen. So then, obviously, this was not a great night for us or for me. And so we like go back into my room after this whole like lecture. It like literally lasted 2 hours. It was just a lot. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, I left. I just up and left. I went to school again. We didn't talk for a while. Like it was a hot second that we did not talk. And then I ended up just like kind of being with my ex a lot more and just not going home. And just took a very avoidant anxiety approach, like of, okay, so this is how like this happened. It was negative, so I'm gonna avoid it.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Did they ever come around?
My parents?
Yeah.
I'm in their house. I'm joking. Yeah, no. Now they're fine. It just took like about a year or so.
All right.
But I mean, with time tells.
Are they like calling you he like by your chosen name?
Oh yeah,
and like he him?
Yes, they're very respectful. I mean, the biggest hiccup I had was like about my name, and my mom's like, "I need to be involved in your name," and I really fucking wanted my name to be Lucas, and my mom was like, "No."
Why?
She didn't like it. And she goes, "That's not your name," and it was like a whole thing. And then it was like, "We'll come." My mom, oh my god, my mom made a spreadsheet of names.
That's like, I mean, I'm kind of upset she didn't let you choose the name you wanted, but it's also kind of cute that she made a spreadsheet of names for you.
Yes. And then we had to go through this spreadsheet, like from the farm, still at school, and highlight in red and green what were yeses and nos. Aww. And then like blue was maybes. And like every single one that I liked, she hated. So they all turned red. I'm like, what the hell?
That's such a unique experience, though, to have with your mom.
Literally, the last name on this spreadsheet, which had thousands of names, like genuinely like 2,000 or 3,000, was Cason. And I said it out loud. I was like, "Mom, how's the name Cason?" And she goes, That's fine. Then I was like, that's my name.
Okay, period. I mean, as I said, like I'm glad she like did it with you. You know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
a unique experience to have as a
Oh
trans
yes,
person
definitely.
with your mom. Like, the fact that
Mhm.
she didn't let you is kind of
I've never heard another trans man ever have this issue.
no.
I am the only one.
Yeah, for real. It's kind of funny as hell. Okay, but
Yeah.
to go back a little, your ex-girlfriend made you come out to your parents, and then when it wasn't going well, literally just took over and did it herself. Like, when
Yeah.
she saw you were uncomfortable, it was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." Came out for
Correct.
you.
She took the bullet.
That's crazy. How old were you? How old were the 2 of you at this time?
18.
Okay.
We were legal adults. Just gonna put that out there.
I mean, like, I guess I keep forgetting you guys were really young, but, like,
Still
it's
18.
crazy.
It's not like we were the 16, like barely out of the womb at that point, like with any like cognitive function. No, at this point we could drive a fucking car.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 18, I feel like I would have known, like, "Hey, I shouldn't this is not my issue.
Problem.
I shouldn't come out for him." That's crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think she, like, was like, "You need to tell your parents," because she knew they would give you a hard time, and she wanted them to give you a hard time because she was scared herself?
I don't that's a good question.
But then again, she was also sitting there being like, "No, he's a him now. It's him." So, like, maybe
Maybe
not.
yeah. I don't know. I like I mean even like looking back, like it's a very strange situation.
It is a very strange situation.
Because I don't know if I could ever like look at someone and be like, "Oh, you're trans. Let's go tell your parents."
Dude. No, that's
But
fucking crazy. Like, when you put it like that, that's wild, dude. Like,
but that's how it
dude, and the switch up from being like, "Oh my god, you're gonna
happened.
cut your tits off," to, "We have to go tell your parents right now."
Right now,
Holy
the
shit.
this is the first priority.
Dude, lesbians move fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, they do.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, are you, like, happy with the way it happened, or do you really look back like, "Damn, like, I really wished, like, I did it when I was ready?"
I don't. I when I was looking at like the question on the sheet when you sent it like yesterday, I
Mhm.
like thought about it. I like sat there and was like, I wonder how this really would have went because I like could not see myself being assertive enough to be like, all right, let me do this myself.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I wish it didn't go that way.
Yeah. I mean, like, it might have been what you needed at the time, the push that you
Hmm.
needed, but it doesn't change the fact that it was shitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Well, I'm glad your parents, like, came around and, like, because that's a scary reaction. Like,
Yeah.
you said your dad kind of, got angry and stormed out, and your mom you very good at painting a picture for me when your mom's sitting there like this.
Sitting, she's like, and I'm like, oh great. And like, what makes it even harder though is like I'm one of 4 children, so like I was the only girl. I
Yeah.
have 3 brothers, so it's like, oh, so sorry, mom, but actually, your little dream of a little girl in a wedding dress not happening.
Yeah. That I mean, like, I see how that is a lot to take away from a mom at a certain
Yeah.
point, but also, like, I have empathy for that situation. Even with my mom, I had empathy, but then, like,
Mhm.
okay, but I'm hurting mom, like, weigh out the pros and the cons, whatever.
Yeah.
How about your brothers? I see you posting about your brothers or with your brothers on TikTok all the time. They seem to
Yeah. No,
be
my brothers,
they seem
they're
to be
really
very
chill. I
supportive.
mean,
Period.
yeah, one of my younger brother, one of them, they're twins. My younger,
Mm.
he had like a harder time at first, but it was because I was gone. So he was like, he took the "I actually hate you" approach because you're never here. I don't understand. I don't know you, like that approach.
Mm.
But then as a little more time came, he was like, oh, You're literally the same. You're just you, whatever.
Mm.
And then my brother who came in, he's really chill. He doesn't care. My older brother doesn't care. I think I mean, because we're all very similar ages, so like they're about 2 years younger. My older brother, he's 3 years older, so it's like they get it. We were all born in like kind of the same generation of like, oh, different pronouns, cool. Oh, you're trans, whatever. I don't care.
Period.
Like, yeah,
I love that.
I'm very fortunate. I'm grateful.
Yeah, I think, as you just said, our generation is you're right, they definitely are more open-minded about it.
Mhm.
I think that's because they are subjected to it more. Like they see it on
Yeah.
the internet or we see it on the internet, whatever, but then, you know, people still choose the path. I mean, I think I thought that our generation was way more open-minded than our parents. But
Yeah.
the more I do this, I see that it's not as much as I thought it was. There's still people
Mhm.
around our age who are transphobic, mostly cis men who are really transphobic.
Yep.
And I don't know, I just think it's cool that like your brothers were just so open-minded about it. Cuz I mean, I think
Yeah.
I mean, I have a sister and I feel like just because she's a woman, it made me more comfortable to come out to her, but if she was a man, oh my god, I feel like I'd be scared. Men scare me.
I don't know. I was always just like kind of one of the boys anyway. Even when I was younger, it was like, oh, I never dressed like a woman. I never acted really like a woman before. So it was like,
Mm,
it's kind of like, oh, well, actually, that makes sense kind of moment.
right, period. I love
Yeah.
that. All right, so you are sitting across from me right now because I found you on TikTok.
Mm.
I found this one specific video. Bro, this video had me on the fucking floor. I was on the floor laughing my fucking ass off at this video.
Mm.
So we're entering the Tea Talk Unfiltered segment of this episode.
All right.
Cason, please retell that story for me.
Oh, I can go into more details because it's not a TikTok.
Please.
What's funny, like I was like, this is actually the most bizarre part of this TikTok when I was making it. It was 6:30 in the morning when I made that.
What a story to
You
tell at
know,
6:30 a.m.
it was 6:30 in the morning. I got to work and there were fire trucks outside, and we were all like, we're not allowed to go in the building. Apparently, there was a gas leak, so we're all just sitting there. And I was like, you know what? I have a really good story right now.
I love
I
the
don't know
chaos.
why I felt like I don't know what happened, and I was like, I feel inclined to make this.
Period. I'm glad you did, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I mean, okay, so like this last year, it was my first year at college. I was a freshman. I'm going in my sophomore year now, like
Mhm.
literally in a few days. But as every freshman, like when they go on to college, you're like, we're gonna party. That's it.
Mhm.
This whole year is partying. I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna party, and that's that.
Mhm.
And so obviously, I go to the University of Connecticut, so there's frats, there's bars, like whole party scene. I want to experience it all, you know. I want to be there. Just to say that I've been there, you
Right.
know.
Mhm.
So my my roommates, he's very comfortable with his identity as well. He is also trans.
Agreed.
He's also been on my TikTok as well. Very open. I love that for him. I would never like say that he was trans if I knew he wasn't comfortable with it.
Mhm.
Him and I are very different in the scope that he's much more reserved. He's much more like to himself.
Mhm.
And he's not going to be that guy that talks to like cis men, especially frat men. Very reserved. And then you have me. I don't care.
I could tell.
I will talk to everyone. So I'm like, I was with a different group of friends, and we were like, all right, let's do this. Let's go to this frat and let's live it up. And so we get there. We didn't realize that like it was woman only. And I'm like, let's just keep in mind the fact that I'm still like a baby, like trans person kind of. I'm only at this point like 6, 7 months on team. I looked a lot different. My face was not as masculine. I had zero facial hair, like literally zero facial hair. I don't know what happened from like 7 to a year. Like I don't understand the shift.
Mhm.
No facial hair, not very masculine looking,
Mhm.
but was like still kind of getting there.
Right.
And so we're like, oh, all right, it's fine. I'm like, all right, I'm a woman. Because I'm like, they can't tell me that I'm not.
Mhm.
They can't tell me that, right? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah. I'm a girl. To this like drunk ass frat man. Like I'm just gonna put that out there. And my friends are all like, and I'm like saying, I'm like, yeah, I'm a woman. And they're like, he's like, huh? I'm like, yeah. Like, what do you not understand? And he's like, I'll be right back. So he leaves. We're standing there. He leaves. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like I look around and my friend's like, I I don't know. I'm like, are we gonna get in or no? Like that was my own. I don't know why. That was my only issue. Was like, are we not gonna get into this fight? Like because of me? Am I the problem? Right? So I'm like, oh my god, okay. So then he comes back like with like the president or something. I don't know actually really know how frats work, but he like, comes back with the president and he's also drunk too. He goes, "What's the problem?"
Please.
And I'm like, well, I'm like trying to get into this frat, and he goes, "Sorry, but no men are allowed." And I'm like, okay, that was extremely validating.
Yeah, right.
But I was like, but I'm not. And he's like, bro, like I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, well, I'm not. Like I literally I have like a vagina and like I have like the full package. Like I don't understand. I was like, I literally should be allowed in. He goes, but we don't allow men. And I'm like, I'm not a man. Right? Which is like kind of where I went wrong looking back. I should not even have said that.
Who cares?
But all my friends are like, yeah, like she's like literally this, like they're going along with it now. And then we're like we're literally like a sisterhood. And I'm like, we're playing the act at this point. And then he like thinks about it. He like says something to his friend and he was like, prove it then.
Oh.
Like, fuck. Like, I was like, fuck. I was like, prove it. And like, I like thought, the worst part is I thought about it. I thought about it. I genuinely was like, are they even going to remember? Like, I literally took like at least like a 5 second like break of like, will I regret this?
That's too real, brother. That is too
And then
fucking
I'm like,
real.
then my actual like my morals and ethics kicked in, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And they were like, huh? And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Nasty fuck.
And they're like, well, do you want to get in and like prove that like you are what you are apparently? And I was like, no, like this is actually really fucked up. And I was like, then I like took the whole like, no, this is actually like this is like so against so many rules that I probably don't even know about. Like I don't even want to know, but like the fact that you just asked me that was the most disrespectful question that I've ever heard. And I was like, I do not even want to go in there. I don't want to touch your sticky house. I don't want to be near you. You are disgusting. You are a man. And was like, that's where my ethics kicked in. And I was like, that was horrible. Actually, like I need to leave. And so we left. What's horrible though is like I'm not friends with these people anymore. A few of them went in anyway.
Oh, fuck that.
And then like the people who are like my real friends were like, we're leaving.
Good.
Yep.
First of all, okay. Why? Just start from the top here. Why was it an only girls' party in a frat house?
They all are.
That's
They all are.
disgusting.
It's disgusting. Like when you go to the environment, like I didn't know what I thought it was like gonna be like out of the movies, like anyone could go or like you could pay to get in if you're a man, like whatever. But no.
Ew.
At the University of Connecticut, the only people who can go to frats are women.
Ew.
Disgusting.
Or women who actually look like women.
Yeah.
Even grosser.
Society's norm.
Yeah. That's horrific, first of all, to even have an only women party. I mean, if it was a sorority, fine, only women, but men throwing an only woman party for themselves, so the women are there for them.
For them, yep.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting, and you know, like I think about it now, like I would never ever even go back. I mean, I do kind of appreciate the fact that I could see the environment and be like, wait, this is actually so gross. There's 150 women here in circles with their friends drinking the free alcohol. They don't even want the frat men. They're there for the free alc that's probably drugged and going to get them so fucked up that it's going to get in such horrible situations. I don't even want to know.
Yep.
But you can see it. It's sad. It's literally this music bumping. all these friends in a circle with a red cup,
Ew.
and they look bored. Like I'm like, why are you guys going to this?
Like, what are you doing?
Like, yeah.
That makes me upset.
Mhm.
Second of all, look, I don't think there was anything wrong with you, like, saying you were a woman. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, if you wanted to be a woman that day, fuck
Right?
it. Who
I just
cares?
yeah, I mean, looking back, like if you do think about it, I mean, maybe this is I'm just like my morals are kicking in, and I'm like being all like human rights, whatever. Like
Mm,
looking back, it definitely is kind of fucked up to use the fact that your past identity and the way that you were born to your advantage in a way to get what you want. And it definitely looks really bad for people who are like gender fluid or like even non-binary, and that looks like really it looks like a very screwed up action on myself because I kind of use that
mhm.
to almost like take advantage of identity and gender.
You were also young. If you were
Correct.
if you were, like, 5 years on testosterone, full beard, and you were, like, 24 or some shit, I'd be like, "Brother, I don't know about that one," but you were pretty almost pre-T, like, you were having fun with your
Pretty
friends.
much.
I
Yep.
don't judge you for a second.
Yeah.
I judge the man before you telling you who the fuck you were and to prove it.
Yep.
Vile.
Which yeah, I mean like looking back, like what if someone was like, "Oh, like I'm non-binary. Can they go in?"
Ugh. Ugh. It doesn't even matter what you the thing is, it doesn't even matter what you identified as at that
Mhm.
time, it was how you looked. So,
Yeah.
if a non-binary person walked out the same situation happened to a non-binary person who was just very femme presenting, they'd be let in,
Yeah.
no problem. But if they were very
Correct.
masculine presenting, he's not thinking
Mhm.
about pronouns, he's not thinking about gender identity, he's thinking about
It's literally just the view.
yep, he's thinking about long hair, makeup, tits, and vagina. That's what that
Yep.
man is fucking thinking
Correct.
about.
And one of my best friends, I love them to death. I won't say their name.
Mm,
They can be more masculine presenting, but then they can also the next day be very much more feminine presenting, and I love it. It's actually such a slay. It's the cutest thing ever.
mhm.
I feel like I'm on my toes all the time. I love it. Like I'm ready. I'm always there to hype them up.
That's
And
cute.
they were like they said themselves, they're like, if I were to be more masculine presenting, like I don't think I could even go or get in.
Mm,
And I'm like, I know, like, isn't that like kind of scary to think about?
mhm. It wasn't women only, it was the women we choose only.
Correct.
Like,
Which is it's
the
so
women
bad.
I wanna fuck, to be honest.
Hmm.
That's what it is.
The best part about it though is they don't want to fuck him.
No, like, exactly. Why would any
No one
woman
wants to
want
fuck the
to?
frat guys. No one does because they're probably so STD carried. I don't even want to know.
Yup. Yup.
Yeah,
And the fact that he said, "Prove it to you,"
prove it. Show me.
uh,
Show me your tits. Like, show me your package.
as
My package.
if as if tits make up a woman, as if genitals make up a
Mm-hmm.
woman, first of all, but
Correct.
his mind is too small to even comprehend that. Like,
Hmm. Yeah. And like what like really gets me though is like who the fuck, even if like I was identifying as a woman, you really think I'm gonna want to pull down my pants in front of your other frat brothers in front of that group of girls over in the corner?
mhm.
You really think I'm gonna do that?
Like, you really think I have that little respect for myself and think you are
Correct.
that much higher up than me that I'm gonna fucking
Mhm.
listen to you? Like, you
Correct.
small little man. Oh, that shit
So egotistical, it's ridiculous.
yep.
I don't even want to like it.
That shit drives me up a
Oh
wall. And can we just talk about frats in general? Like,
yeah.
how fucked they are? I don't even
Mhm.
understand why, in this day and age, 2024, why frats are even a fucking thing anymore. Like,
Mhm.
I hear stories through friends or on Reddit or on TikTok about, like, getting into frats and what people have to do in order to be in a frat. And it goes as far as, like, men making other men, like, eh, do really weird things to a point where
Mhm.
it's like, oh, like, you just want to feel power. Like, you
Correct.
are
It's
in
a
the
power
closet
complex.
and you don't want anybody to know. And this is you
Mhm.
getting to act on your sexuality without anybody questioning it.
Correct.
Like, I've seen videos or I've read Reddit stories about frat guys like making what's the word? Like when you're trying to get into a frat. There's a word for
Getting
it.
hazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hazing new frat members, whatever. Like the videos I've seen, like they make them pretend to be like dogs and eat shit off the floor. Like it is
I know. Oh,
disgusting. Like
yes. Oh, it's so bad.
and like t what are you doing? Like, doing that? What are you doing saying, "Okay, sure. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll act like a dog and eat up off the floor for you so I can
Yeah.
be in this frat?"
Obviously. Literally. Obviously. That's like I do that every day.
What, for male validation? That's
You're not
crazy.
doing that. I don't. What? Oh.
Dude, like, there's
Yeah.
frats that like, sexually harass and, go even farther than that just to haze somebody to be in the frat, and,
Yeah.
uh a lot can be said about the people in frats, but like, what about the people who like want to be in a frat so bad that they're willing to do that shit? Like,
Correct.
you want that male validation so bad, you want them to like you that bad, you're willing to lose
Mhm.
all self respect for yourself, you're willing to eat up off the ground like a dog?
Correct. Like I don't understand that. The
Oh
worst thing that I've ever heard with hazing, like this is like the worst thing. It didn't happen at UConn, thank God.
man. Mhm.
I don't even. I think it was in Florida,
Checks
which
out.
is going to be fitting. You'll see why. And for one of these people to be able to rush in, they needed to see how many women on campus they could sexually assault.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And when I heard that, it made me like physically sick. Like like my stomach dropped. I was like, what?
Ugh.
Like I was the length that you're able to go, you want to be technically something that you can be convicted for.
Mhm. Did they actually like use the word sexually assault?
Yeah,
That's disgusting. Like, you're
which makes
doing
the
wrong. Yeah, like, you are 100% aware. Yeah, you're 100% aware of what you're doing, and you don't give a shit
correct.
because women are objects to you, and you're
Hmm.
gross. Like,
Evidently.
why aren't we canceling frats? That's what I wanna know. Like
I mean, like I can see where like frats and sororities can be beneficial outside the party realm and outside the hazing realm because they do a lot of community service and they do help a lot of communities outside of that realm.
Mhm,
But I think that's where and like I know states are like trying to get a hold of this and be like, actually, we don't allow hazing, we don't allow those huge parties like this. These rules, these rules, these rules. But like bigger schools like my own, how are they gonna know?
yeah, like, they're kids.
All of the parties are off campus.
Mhm.
Realistically, how are they gonna know? Because the way that people get there is you get picked up in cars, you get certain text messages, certain numbers, like whatever, and you can go.
Ugh.
So
Mm.
it's like I can see where a frat and like sorority like again can be beneficial, but when you go over that line,
Mhm. E
why do we have that? I feel like privileges should be taken if it gets like past the line.
Yeah, 100%. Or,
Yeah.
like, just, like, I don't know, strip it down to its core, like, take away
Hmm.
everything that a frat is and build it
Yeah.
again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it a different fucking name at this point, like
Mhm.
like,
No, seriously.
it's just everything around it is and you have these men or these young men learning horrible, horrible things, and I'm sure, like, yes, they've learned it prior, like, being in
Hmm.
high school and shit, but, like, I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many boys I've seen come out of high school being like an okay person and go to college, enter a frat, come back and be awful fucking people.
Horrible.
Like awful people.
Yes. Awful people.
It just
Hmm.
bothers me that like nobody is doing anything about it. And I mean I understand why because a frat is all men, no women allowed. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want because nobody's
Hmm.
telling them that they can't.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know there are like some frats that are co-ed and then
Yeah.
there are queer ones, but like we're talking about that
Right.
stereotypical like male only
Mhm.
this or that. So it's like
Ew, and it's
I don't know.
disgusting. You think like, oh, as soon as you leave men alone, that's what they're gonna do. Like with no
Mhm.
rules, no women around, that's who they are to their core.
Mhm.
Ah, ah.
Yeah. for me, it's like how do you go through like all 4 years of that, then leave that environment? What do you do after that? Because like, I
Yeah.
feel like I don't exactly know the like specific stats or the specific research, but I feel like a lot of the time when you look at someone who was convicted of sexually assaulting someone outside of college or like ages older than college, you look back into their history and guess what they were in?
Mm-hmm.
Or people who are like convicting crimes of
Mm-hmm.
robbery, just small little home invasions, like things like that,
Yep.
even murder.
Yeah,
If you
dude.
look back into their college years,
Mm-hmm.
look what they were in.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, as a society, we haven't like talked about this more or tried to cancel frats. Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like this is the core issue in cis men.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't get why. Like,
Yeah,
oh, and I don't understand why there's still women out there chasing after these frat guys. I don't.
I don't know either.
I want to shake you and be like, wake the fuck up. Like,
Yes.
holy
I
shit.
don't know why either. I mean, my current girlfriend, she's been to frat parties and she's like, "Oh, like they can be really fun like when you're with your group of friends as long as you guys stick together. Like it can be actually a blast. Like there's really good music, sometimes the vibes are really good, this or that." And I'm like, "Okay, like I can respect that."
Mm-hmm.
But then where does that like weird mix of like when they start being predatory come in? Is
Mm-hmm.
is it just bleh. Is it because you just didn't experience it yourself
Mm-hmm.
that like you didn't get to like see how horrible it can be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you need to be a woman who experiences like
Mm-hmm.
their ignorance and their egotistical like behaviors
Yeah.
to be like, oh wait, this is actually really screwed up?
No, like, yeah. And like,
And that's not like any like hate or anything against my girlfriend right
oh
now,
yeah.
but like it's just like, did you need to experience that to be on the same page as me?
Right. It's
Yeah.
obviously there's frats out there, like we said, that are completely normal and not
Mhm.
horrible in any sense. But like that's like the same thing as saying like, oh, cis men suck. It's like, no, okay, not all cis men, but
Not
like
all.
a lot of them. Like we need to
Mhm.
hold all of them accountable
We
to be
need
able to get somewhere. You know what I mean?
correct.
I don't know.
Yes.
And it's weird because it's not only they don't only affect women, but also men too. Like there are
Mhm.
many men who get sexually assaulted in
That's
frats
what I'm
and don't even
saying.
know that they got sexually assaulted because it's written off as hazing. Like
Yeah.
like there's a whole real fucked up big problem here that nobody's talking about.
Yes, there's such a problem, but again, it's not talked about. Or it's not even like mentioned in any like society. So it's like, oh, it's just normal. It's fine. It's
Hmm.
fine. It's all good.
Dude, even sororities are fucked too. Like I don't think like
Some of the hazing,
yeah.
there's a lot of like body image problems that I think come from sororities, especially because like with some of like I guess like the hazing and the rushing,
Hmm.
you have to be a certain weight and you have to look a certain way and your hair has to look like this and you need to be able to do makeup like that. You need to be able to afford this and this that most people probably can't.
Mhm. And girls are
Hmm.
fucking mean.
Yeah,
Girls are mean in a
so
way that
mean.
men can't be mean. Men have mastered the art of lying and
Stupidity.
like yeah, stupidity
Yeah,
and just being fucking horny all the time where
yep.
women are diabolical in the way they choose to make you feel bad about yourself. And with sororities where you have a group
Master manipulation is what I like to call it.
no like
Master manipulators.
100%. Like, and like to be a group of girls who has a say over who gets in or not. It's like, are we in a movie? Like, this is so stupid. Like, what
It's like Mean
the
Girls.
no, dead ass? Like, fucking Regina George over here is telling me I'm too fat to be in a sorority. Are we kidding?
Right?
Uh,
Right? Who are you to tell me?
gross. You are not a girl's girl. Anyone who is like the captain of the sorority is fucking not a girl's girl. I don't want to hear it.
And like, what's horrible is like, I used to have an eating disorder myself, but like half of them have fucking eating disorders.
Yep. Oh, they're all fucked up. Like
They compare their eating disorders half the time.
mhm, mhm. If you think you know, whatever girls in a toxic sorority like that are mentally okay, that's funny. Like they're all
Hmm.
screwed up in their own fucking ways, and that's why they're horrible to
Yeah,
people because they can't deal with their issues themselves.
correct.
Woo! Same with the men. Same with the men.
Correct.
Ah,
Correct.
this has been a fun-filled episode. I love this.
So much knowledge. Yes.
We are
You know,
hitting the no, go ahead, continue.
we are having an hour, but I was gonna say I have a very good proposal to fix frats.
To fix frats?
Yeah, just
So.
make it all trans men.
Oh yeah, baby.
Trans men and trans women.
Oh, dude, that would be absolute bliss.
Come on.
We should start one. That's what we should
Although
do.
to be for real, trans men and women, we can also be fucking horrible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But like horrible in the sense of like we are trying to be better than one another all of the time.
Yep. Competitive nature.
Yeah. Like very competitive, but not in the sense of like sexual assault and like making you feel absolutely horrible about your weight or shit like that. Trans people would never. We would just be like, we would just, I don't know. I don't even know what trans people would do, but like, I could see trans men just like trying to be him. You know what I mean?
And better. And I feel like kind of go into those more like those cis man characteristics of horrible behavior. I feel like we could unfortunately desensitize ourselves into.
Mm-hmm. No, you're 100% right. There's a lot of trans men out there who fall into that, like, oh, I want to be a cis man so bad that I'm going to start really acting like one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think trans women would probably get a little catty at times, probably. Yeah. I've seen that.
And fall into like those manipulative behaviors, unfortunately.
Yeah. But like, even with all of that, we would never be as extreme as what we see today in sororities and frats.
I agree. Yeah. I really agree. We'll just make it all just trans frat and sorority, and it'll be good.
Period. Yeah, I absolutely love it. We're doing it.
That's the fix. We'll start it.
I love it. Please. Like, I think that's what the world needs to heal.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, we should everything trans and we're good.
Honestly,
eat the rainbow.
Right. Honestly,
bleed the rainbow. Oh god.
Okay. Cason, where can people follow you?
Where do I think people follow me?
Where can people follow you?
Oh, where can I was like, where do I think? I don't know. Oh, TikTok is my go-to. Nice. My Instagram, my go-to.
Word. Both of those things will be on screen and in the description below. Please, please, please go give Cason a follow. This was one of my favorite episodes. We had a lot of laughs. And make sure you follow me at HRT Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. I post all the time. Subscribe here on YouTube if you are listening on Spotify. I beg of you to come over to YouTube. It's much more fun over here. Hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. I drop videos every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I drop After Dark videos every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I stream video games every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out with me. I would appreciate it. And that is about it. Oh, join my Discord. Subscribe to my Patreon, please. There will be bonus content on there for you to watch. It's dirt fucking cheap. You have no excuse. Please, if you want to see me grow as a creator, Patreon is the best way to do that. I appreciate you. And this was a fantabulous freaking episode, Cason. Thank you so much.
I tried. Thank you for having me.
Of course. My pleasure, dude. I will see you all next week. I love you so much. Bye.